Thank you for choosing to watch another episode of Where's My Podcast. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you click that notification bell to keep up to date with all our drops. Enjoy the episode. Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of Where's My Podcast. And today we're joined by another special guest. We're joined by my brother Botch, the founder of GoneClub.
We're here. Thank you for having me.
Bro, thank you for coming. Usually I would reach over, but like sometimes it's awkward, bro. But yeah, it's my Bluetooth, old school
This is it.
But broski, thank you for coming. Obviously, having watched other episodes, you will see that how I start the episode is I basically say why you, the guest in the chair, innit? And for me, I'll say the main thing is, yeah, I'm a West London guy, do you know what I'm saying? And I always gotta appreciate the people around me that have inspired me, do you know what I'm saying? Because everyone that's doing stuff from where we're from, it's like, because there's proximity, even though we didn't necessarily know each other before quote unquote fashion, because there's proximity there in terms of we have mutuals and all this stuff, I can see your stuff and I'm like, yo, if Botch can do something in fashion, then why can't we do it too? Do you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to held you up on that and thank you for that. And more so, obviously, I've bought into the idea of Gone. I remember seeing it back then when you had like the shell tracksuits and that with all the bright colours, and I'm like, yo, like what's this? Like, it's fresh, you know what I'm saying? It's standing out. So from there, I've bought into what you're building, and I'm happy to see that after all these years, from like I think it was maybe like 2017, you're still here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Still going.
So I know you got a lot to say to everyone. So yeah, I'm just happy we're finally here to make it happen, bro.
Yeah, this is it. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So obviously, there's only one place to start. We got to go straight back to 2017. What was going? In fact, before that, actually, forget 2017. Like, I want to know what it was like for you growing up. Where are you from? Whether it's your nationality, where you grew up. Like, take it away.
Well, I grew up in West London. Mainly, I wouldn't say I came from a fashion background, but in a way, I kind of did. Like, my grandma was a dressmaker. My mum can make clothes, like dresses and stuff.
So what country you from?
Ghana.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, Black Stars, bro.
Ghana, man. We just didn't do well in the African combo.
Hey, we'll leave that cover for another day still.
We're here, but we're still going. So mainly growing up, obviously I enjoyed playing football. I was playing football. That was the dream, like every kid's dream. Unfortunately, we don't make it.
Knee injury, yeah?
No, not. I did actually break my ankle in year 11, but I'm not going to use that as
Wait, did you play at a good level, yeah?
Just okay.
Okay.
I'm not no top pro or nothing.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I've got a bit of footwork. So yeah, we did that. I've always kind of been into music as well. Like in secondary school, I was playing the piano and stuff. I took that as a GCSE as well. So I did enjoy doing music. But as times went on, obviously I kind of stuck with playing football, going to the college scheme, doing, what did I study in college? You know, that the BTEC sport thing, level 3. Then that obviously took me to university. So then I went uni, but I dropped out. Only went there for a year, and I just realised in that transition that this ain't for me, innit? And obviously in that time period or so, I met someone who was an entrepreneur who had basically, well, they didn't have a brand, but they had the whole business was a brand. So they looked after footballers. They had footballers underneath their brand. They had music artists, boxers, like an entertainment company sort of thing. And then being around that and working in that environment made me learn how to network, connect with people, be more of a people's person. And then from there, that kind of opened my eyes and think, yeah, why not have that? So even I was thinking about that more than thinking about the clothes, even though I still like clothes. And then...
Yeah, you know what, Botch, let me cut you actually. Let's go back a bit even more. So remember you were saying your mum, grandma, dressmaker.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, did you remember, I don't know, caring about fashion or anything like that? Or did you just see them doing that as just a job? You didn't really understand like what was special about it?
I've seen it all my life, like growing up, because my grandma, seen the size patterns, the mannequins, all of that. But obviously I'm not processing it. I'm just a little kid just seeing it. But back in Ghana, my grandma had a shop where she was a dressmaker. So people used to come and she used to take their measurements, do the dresses, sell it. That was her thing. Obviously from that, my mum knows how to do that. So that's how like everyone kind of in my family, they all know how to make clothes. They're all very hands-on. I'm the only one that's not hands-on when it comes to clothes. But yeah, so that's how it literally all started. I've seen all of the patterns, everything from young, but it just wasn't in like my world. I just seen it growing up.
Yeah, it was almost like second nature. It was just a part of you without you necessarily realizing until you started to use it.
Yeah, literally. That was literally that. So it's crazy how I'm now doing fashion. Right? I would never thought like, let's say 10 years ago I'll be doing fashion.
Yeah. So fast forward to the point where you met the person that you said had, I don't know, like a brand that looked after people XYZ.
Yeah.
And at that point you said you wanted to almost have something similar.
Yeah.
Why a fashion thing?
Do you know what it was? That was kind of like the first thing that came to my mind that was realistic. Because his thing was, he's looking after players. Yeah, I knew loads of footballers and things like that, but I didn't have that credit in terms of that to be taken on a player and be managing all of these people. Where's my experience? So obviously for me, I think when it got to that 2017, did kind of lead a path where it's not for everyone, but obviously that made me realize I need to now get on something proper and fix myself up. And then that's when the brand came to mind, didn't it? So that's how I got to that point.
Do you know what? You said that was really interesting, yeah? You said fashion seemed realistic.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating because how can I put this? Like, what kind of made you deep that you could kind of have a fashion brand? Because let's say back then in 2017, especially where we're from, it's only really Trapstar that kind of was there to kind of show us that, fashion is feasible. Yeah. But still, because it's only one sort of entity, it's like, it still doesn't seem realistic. So what made you deep that fashion could be a path for you?
Because essentially it's still all a brand, innit? And you can, even though you have you're selling clothes and whatever, you can almost branch out into other things as well, depending on who the person is. And I just knew from that point, I kind of built a decent network. So I thought, why not? And two, obviously certain clothes, I'd rather just make it and wear it myself. So it's like, I'm just a walking brand. And then through that, I can now branch off to do other stuff in the future, innit? So that's literally like the main thing. And that's how it all stemmed from that. Then obviously down the line, when I started thinking to myself, let me do the fashion thing, I started to fall in love with it more, research a bit more, look at different things, look at different styles, and then things slowly started to change a little bit. But even still to now, I'm still learning, I'm still trying to see different things in that. Because like my first 3 years, obviously sorry to skip it, but my first 3 years, I pretty much winged it. You get what I'm trying to say? I pretty much winged the business. I wouldn't say I started a brand and I'm going to plan it, sit down and plan it. You know, like loads of people start businesses and some people take 2 years to plan. I just come up with the idea the next month and shouting someone that I know that does the printing thing. Just went straight with it. I just went with my eyes closed straight in. So I didn't really plan it too much. I just did it.
Where do you think that ability kind of comes from? Because to wing something that can garner that much attention, because remember, obviously, when I was introducing you, I said, I was seeing GoneClub with all the different colours and you had traction, like you were really doing your thing, especially from West as well. You were one of the few brands that we kind of had at that time.
Yeah.
So how do you think you were able to build something like that without putting effort? Of course you put effort, but without putting that much thought into it.
I feel like at the time, obviously, one, I have a network. Two, obviously I was in a public relationship. That kind of helped sell the brand a bit more easy, because it's like, when you look back then, a couple brand looks cool. Not that many people are really doing it. There might have been couples, but there wasn't that many people that was in a couple and have a brand, right? And the tracksuits and that look cool. If I'm posting on Instagram and it's getting 100,000 views on a post, like
back then as well.
That's what I'm saying. So like things are just growing, things are just selling without even me having to. I didn't even do no ads or nothing like that. It's just sales. That's it. It was just posting on Instagram. I never paid no influencer to wear my stuff. That's just through connects. So like that's why I always say like networking is so important, because those are the things that money can't buy. Like that's one thing I always stood by. Like if I start any business, I need to make sure my network is correct, because people pull in favors, and then that will help build your business. So
During that period where, because I just find this mad, because you're talking about something that was big, quite like blasé. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at that time, did it feel like this is just my life? Do you get what I'm saying? Or was it like, I've got something here? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's mad.
Do you get why I asked you that though?
Yeah, no, it's mad. It's actually quite mad, because I tried to do the, like the working thing and 9 to 5, and I just don't like that. I just said to myself, I can't see myself just working a normal job and just going to work and I just can't do it. So like, for me, having that opportunity and brand, obviously, from the start, it kind of just went like that. like that's a blessing. And obviously, it's been a bit of a wild journey, but for me, it's just like, I just never really planned it. I just have belief in myself, innit? That's what it is. Like I overthink, but I don't overthink when it comes to me actually actioning something. I just do it because like, what's the worst that's gonna happen anyway? I'm not gonna die from it.
Facts.
So why not do it?
It's a good mentality to have.
You
It's
get what I'm
got you
saying?
this
Like,
far.
if it goes wrong, hey, it's gone wrong. Let's see how we can bounce back from it.
Facts.
I feel like the best business people are the best problem solvers. You can't be in business and not know how to problem solve. There's always going to be a problem.
So the reason why you were able to keep going was because whatever problem came, you were just like,
yeah, like, bro, even sometimes like I'll feel like I can never solve it. I'll manage to somehow get through it anyway. So like, why not? You get what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what's funny about this conversation? It's like we're talking about what you were doing with the brand without actually talking about the brand.
Yeah.
So like, obviously it's GoneClub, been GoneClub, it's still GoneClub. Looks different, but it's still GoneClub. Like, what was the concept? What was the brand meant to mean? Like, is that something you even really thought about at the time?
So obviously I kind of always had like my main kind of goal. For like over the years, things did transition a bit just from the knowledge of even me having like understanding my brand a bit more. Like, it's weird because when I first started, like I said, starting it as being a couple and getting sales from being in a relationship and things like that. Obviously, when we split and I continue running the business by myself, that's when the real business starts. Because it's like, are they buying the brand because I was in a couple, or they buying the brand because of the brand? So now that's where the real business starts. So that's where things had to kind of change. What does my brand actually stand for? What does Gone mean? All right, cool. So if we was to take it back now, Gone, me and my friends used to use the word gone in terms of like modern day slang. So if someone's dripping, like their drip is good, we'd be like, yeah, their drip's gone. If a girl looks nice, we'd be like, yeah, she looks gone. Like, we just used to use that in a terminology like, yeah, you're moving kind of gone. Good or bad. If someone's moving like an idiot, we'd be like, wow, you're moving gone. Like, that's how we spoke, innit? So that, I wouldn't say that's the meaning of the brand, but that's what we was using. And then obviously we kind of referred it to like, being gone is like no one's on your level. As I started pushing the brand, I kept on going. I started to realize now being gone is about self-belief and being confident. Like, you can't be gone clear without being confident, without having self-belief. So that's where it started to become more of a thing. Like, yeah, I'm still here, I'm still growing, I believe in myself. No one can tell me that I'm not gone or, quote, I'm not there when I can say to myself I am. Even though I might not be fully there, but I can say to myself I am. Well, like, what do you determine success? You get what I'm trying to say? So that's where it kind of all came about, like just having belief in yourself, having that self-belief. And that club thing is a community thing, because that self-belief needs to be pushed out there to the world for everyone, not just for myself. So that's the whole point of the brand. Being a part of GoneClub is about being a part of a community with self-believers, like people that no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be some sort of hurdle, but do you believe in yourself to keep pushing? A lot of people don't. So if I'm pushing a community where people can become like that, then that's the message that I'm trying to push out there.
So anyone who believes in themselves is part of GoneClub.
Realistically, yeah, you're gone, innit?
30.
Like, you're gone, you got your own thing going on, you're gone. Who can tell you're not?
Yeah, we do.
Like, no one can tell you that you're not gone.
Love, man, I appreciate that.
You get me? All the confidence comes from yourself. Like, no one can give you confidence apart from yourself. Because the moment that you try to get confidence from other people, the moment that someone shuts that down, you're just going to fall straight back down again.
Facts.
So it has to come from you first.
It's big facts.
So yeah.
I got a couple questions from that. I like what you were saying a lot, Botch, man. That's real. And I also like that TikTok you did that was inspired by the Genius. So you know on Genius they do the explain thing. So you and your bedrooms, it was like a yellow background, and it was literally what does God mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was wavy. I like that one still. What I'm liking most about what you're saying is obviously the self-belief aspect of it. 100%, I rate that. But in terms of in fashion or being a fashion designer, I've spoken to so many people now, and the conversations that I appreciate the most are the people that are honest enough to admit that they didn't have all the answers at the beginning. And I'm basically latching onto what you're saying to basically say that it's okay to not necessarily understand the full meaning of your brand when you're first starting, because actually you've grown up as a person. When you started it 2017, you were obviously a lot younger then. Now you're at the point where you're the type of man you are now. Gone could have the same meaning, but more refined. Do you get
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I think it's really important for people to remember that you don't need to know everything right at the beginning. So I really rate that. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely important, bro. But some of us, we don't even know ourselves at the beginning.
Facts.
So
Most of us don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's all a journey anyway. It's about where you end up. It's not about, it's about where you start, but it's about where you're going.
Mm.
If you're looking good this year and you're not looking good next year, then where was the improvement? Like you gotta be able to learn how to improve your business every time. And you might not know the full meaning yet, but you just want to do it. And that's how it was with me. I didn't really know the full. I just knew the word. That's what we talk about. Let's make the clothes. Let's keep it moving. That's it. And then down the line, whatever obstacle comes, we hit it and we deal with it.
So speaking of not necessarily understanding the full meaning of it at the beginning, like with your understanding of what the meaning was at that time, how did you kind of push that through your designs?
It's a weird one because it's like, so do you remember the flatline design, right?
The
heartbeat.
Yeah,
Cool. So the reason why that design came about, because it sounds mad, but the reason why I actually put that there, because the way that the flatline was like this.
Yeah.
I kind of said that, you start from here, and you go up and down to be gone.
Okay.
That's only the reason why I put it. That's the reason why I put it there. Then I had that quote, a step ahead. The only reason why I put it on my tops is because when you're walking and you're reading it, I'm a step ahead of you. And it's like, I'm a step ahead, like I'm gone, like I'm one step ahead from you, basically. So there were certain things that I was just doing, like I said, but it was more like I was planning but weren't planning. I was just making the tracksuits and it was just literally selling. Because obviously you gotta understand that when I first started the brand, like I said, I was giving stuff out to like young footballers here and then. And when I posted on Instagram and the video done well, it was a surprise like, raw, man just posted a video with a girl that I was dating and it did well. So we're onto something here. And obviously that was working, so why not continue? And we continued that. From that moment, like I said, it was more of a thing where I was like, we design a collection, we do our pictures, we give it to whoever, we drop it, it sells. Same thing, again and again and again and again. And that's what was pretty much working, literally.
At this point where it's like, as you said, it's just like on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Like, did you have ideas of where you wanted to take the brand? And if so, were there any sort of other brands you look to like emulate and be like, you know what, this was their blueprint, let's try and copy that?
I've always had like other things I wanted to do around the brand. So music, events. When I mean music, like a lot of people around me did music. So my whole point was to bring this package where my guys are doing the music, I throw the events as well, we wear the clothes. If they bust in the music thing, they create fans. So their fans are gonna come to the shows because my shows because they're performing at it, which is gonna be a 360 thing where it's all everything's gonna be selling left, right, and center. Even because of that as well, just to be even more a part of it with my guys and that, because I obviously like music. I wouldn't say I never used to always rap, but I just made music for fun. And then obviously I did a song, the GoneClub drip song, and it did quite well. And then from then I started doing music, but it just didn't last too long because my business overpowered the music thing anyway. But I've always had like some sort of vision. Obviously I looked up to Trapstar in a sense because obviously I met them before, the owners of Trapstar, before I actually started my brand. So there was like one or two times that I did stuff for Mikey, like behind the scenes, like in terms of like helping him out at a shoot, like just the basic stuff, like basically being a runner at a shoot. And obviously just seeing that was a bit inspiring. So that's pretty much who I looked up to at the time, was only Trapstar. I didn't really look at any other brands in that. And when you think about back then, there wasn't that many other brands. There was only like, the only brands that I knew was Trapstar and Benja. That was it.
Oh yes, it's mad.
That was it. Apart from that, there wasn't that many other brands. And the brands that are now, that have started time ago, that are flourishing now, they kind of started when I started.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really watching that.
There just wasn't enough people to kind of look to.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I think that can be a bit disheartening but it can also be encouraging. You're like, cool, there's only 2 other people, not I necessarily need to compete with, but there's space here. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think the negative side of it, and it kind of alludes to the question I asked before about seeing if there's like a blueprint you can follow, because there wasn't that many other brands. There's obviously not many things for you to kind of learn from that space, if you want to call it that. So in terms of the things you were experiencing in terms of running a brand, how did you kind of learn stuff at the beginning?
It was mad because, like, let's just say for manufacturers, right, that one was a big headache because I did take quite a lot of losses through that. But I didn't, even though I've been around patterns and stuff, didn't really even know like the patterns, like doing tech packs, certain designs. I got used to it. I got used to knowing how to use apps and putting pieces together. I feel like I'm more of a creative visualist. I know how to make things look good on a garment and then make things look good to the public. I feel like in my mind it was easy to do that, and then just getting used to apps, putting pieces together, like for example putting a flat line together to the words of GoneClub to make that image was what I was always good at. And then we just went through the experience of basically learning how to manage money better, because I feel like even with that, the money management was poor, and that's just due to lack of experience of running a business. But the beauty of it is that because I believe in myself so much, instead of me quitting, I just keep going. And then having all of them setbacks gives me more knowledge to keep going, to be here now. And then obviously now, that because I've had that experience, I can give that knowledge to other people.
Facts. The people listening now are gonna...
Literally. Yeah. So like, that's why I always say to people that want to start a business and things like that, the main thing about business is up here, because if you can't deal with it up here, you're always going to go through an obstacle. Every business becomes stagnant at some point. It doesn't matter if you're turning over 100 grand, 10 M's, there's always going to be some improvement that you want in your business. So there's going to be a point where you might become stagnant. Now, if up here is not right, then how are you going to be able to overcome it?
So do you feel like you've been at that place before where the brand felt stagnant to you? Because I've definitely been there with what we're doing.
Yeah, like, but I feel like that loads of times, because I always feel like there's improvement. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's just like, especially when I started, obviously, doing it by myself, then me and my business partner to help me do the business side of things properly. That's when I realized that, yeah, this is really a business, to form it into a company, not just a little clothing brand, but into an actual company. There's 2 differences about selling T-shirts online here and there. Yeah, anyone can do that, but can you run a business? That's the difference. Do you know about your numbers? Do you know about, if I made this much this month, how much am I going to put in this month into marketing? All of these things, and what's the profits at the end? Are you going to put the profit? Like, all of that stuff, that you got to know about these things for you to have a successful business or a brand overall.
And do you feel like the only way to kind of learn these things is to go through it?
I feel like at the time, for me, I had to, because there wasn't that. I had mentors in terms of life, but not in terms of fashion. No one sat down and spoke to me about, this is how you run a fashion brand or fashion business. I had to go through it myself. I had to deal with whatever came in it. So I feel like it's a good thing that I did that, because I'm still here now, and obviously the next gen, it can help out the next gen, innit? So they don't go through the same mistakes that I did. So I feel like, yeah, like back then it's a bit different. It's a whole different ball game, man. I had to go through so much different experiences.
It's almost like, sometimes you feel like, because it's mad, because obviously you're young, but considering from when you started, it's almost like you're already like a OG to a certain degree to some. Not to gas you, but you get the point I'm trying to make. We still got a long way to go, but so it's almost like you guys, people that kind of started around your time or whatever, did the hard work for a lot of the up and comers.
Yeah, because there's some people that have said to me that they've looked up to me, but their brands are bigger than my brand. You get what I'm trying to say? But it's almost like we had to, crawl for them to walk.
Facts.
You get what I'm trying to say? And that's what happens anyway. It's almost like you might have a brother or a younger brother, and they're watching what you're doing. They'll end up doing it better than you. You get what I'm trying to say? Not saying that there's no right or wrong in terms of who's better than who, but because you're watching someone do something, you might be able to see the things that they can't do and make it better. You know? So that's why I feel like, yeah, it's a good thing. But for me, I'm a person where it's like I said, my brand is not just for me, it's for everyone's self-belief, being confident. So my main thing is to just portray that energy to whoever believes in that. That's my main thing.
And you're definitely doing that today, boy.
Bro, that's the
Dropping
main
hella gems already.
Bro.
How long have we been recording for? Only like 20 minutes, isn't it? Flipping hell, fam. This is, hey, I'm gonna have to clip this up so much, you know.
Bro, that's literally the main thing, innit? Obviously bro, I'm getting them. Why am I getting their calls, bro? So that's literally the main thing, innit? And obviously, I like fashion. As I've been doing it, my fashion knowledge has become better. My dressing, I feel like my dressing has become better as well.
Yeah, you've been going crazy on TikTok still.
Yeah, my dressing.
Just wavy still.
Yeah, the dressing's become better, become more confident. Even though I've always kind of been confident with whatever I wear anyway, become more confident in it, be more experimental with it. Whatever just I feel like it suits me, I just do it.
Sorry, Botch, I got 2 questions. So the first one, yeah, and this is for me. Like, I want you to tell me something, like, not like you have to speak to me, but I'm literally just asking a question for myself, yeah? So, you know, you obviously asked you about, have you felt like you've been at points where you've been stagnant or whatever, and you basically said, yeah, of course I have type vibes, yeah? In them moments where you feel stagnant, what do you kind of do to stop yourself from feeling stagnant or being stagnant? Like, and the reason I ask that is because when I go through them type of phases, like, I don't have like, I don't know, no procedure or nothing to take me out of it. It's like, I just keep going type vibes. One thing I kind of do is, I haven't showed you man this year, but on my phone, there's times where I have like a notes bit and it's like, times I've thought about quitting Where's My TV? And, and I put the date. I think I've only put 2 dates in there. So that's just one thing that I do to kind of, but do you have anything that you do to take you out of that mindset?
Guess just pray, innit?
I feel bad now that I didn't say that, you know.
Bro, that's pretty much it, really, innit? Like, I feel like everyone's got a purpose. I feel like this is my purpose, innit? So it's like, why am I gonna stop my purpose for and let that all go to waste? Why? I've been doing it for so long now, so why am I gonna stop now? Or even 3 years ago, been doing 3 years is still a long time. So it's like, yeah, like, not gonna say that. Yeah, I pray I pray as much as I can. To be honest with you, I try to get closer to God. But I feel like those, and obviously I come from a very like Christian background. Like my mum's always praying. My mum's always telling me, even my girl's always telling me the same thing. That, well, just have faith. Just have faith. Like, because I have that around me so much, I have to have faith. Because I've seen what my mum's gone through, and she's still here. She's still being able to take care of 3 boys.
And that's not easy.
It's not easy. You get what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I'm running a business, but wow, that's not easy. You get what I'm trying to say? That, so that just have faith, get through it. That there's always and I've always put in my mind that no matter what I do in life, say if I was to quit GoneClub tomorrow and start something else, yeah, I'm still gonna run into problems anyway.
So true.
So why should I stop if I'm gonna run into another problem? That's what people that don't realize. They feel like you can just do something. Oh, it's not working this time. Let's start something else now. Well, so when that doesn't work, you're gonna stop as well. Then you're gonna be going through your whole life, stopping and starting, chasing what, and then then you get successful, or you're making money from it. All right, great. Then what's next? You've got the money, you can do what you want, but what's next? What are you really doing it for? What, just for money? Money's great, but hey, you get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
No, that's a major key for me because I pray too, innit? Like, as you said, I pray what you get it, but like, I never really pray about this. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I just pray about this and that, girls or whatever. You get it? I've never prayed about this, but no, that's a key. So I'm gonna take that. Love for that, bro. Man. But the other question I had was going back to the point you made about your fashion knowledge. Yeah. What I find interesting about that is that particularly when you're almost starting like a streetwear brand, like a brand that's almost like a trap star or Benja or whatever, it's like, what sort of brands or designers do you even look to when you're starting something like that? And the point I'm trying to make is that I remember when we were starting Where's My TV and it was like very heavily focused on streetwear. Like, I didn't feel that there was any need for me to kind of care about high fashion or anything like that because I thought I didn't really understand it for one, and I just felt it didn't appeal to me. Do you know what I'm saying? But over time, my fashion quote unquote knowledge has increased because I put time and effort into kind of learning about the Alexandra McQueens and the Vivienne Westwoods and the bloody whoever. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, how has your fashion knowledge increased? Has it increased in understanding that type of fashion, or do you mean in terms of fashion knowledge increasing and how to run a fashion brand?
No, in everything. in terms of designers, in terms of business people, in terms of like just the whole spectrum of running a fashion brand and making clothes in general, like knowing your fabrics, knowing the garments, knowing what you want. Like some people just want to make clothes and they don't know what they actually want. Like design something that you actually want in terms of like straight down to the stitching of it. You know what I'm trying to say? And obviously I had to research all of these things and go through that. Whereas before, when I first started, I was just making t-shirts and tracksuits. They were selling great, but they're not, I wouldn't say they're actually some top tier designs. Like they're just me putting a logo on a trackie. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's just me being honest with it. But it's just the people buying into the image and the brand, so it sold. But yeah, like down the line, I started researching a bit more and just falling more in love and with appreciating the garments, appreciating what you're making, and then once you've completed it, then wearing it. That makes you feel good. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like within 2 years of me starting running the business, that's when I started looking at more designers. But I kind of, obviously at the time, if you go back to like 2017, 2018, Off-White was really popping. So I used to look at Virgil a lot. And that kind of inspired me.
Ghanaian as well.
Yeah, so that inspired me with some of my designs. Obviously, always knew about Pharrell as well. So all of them things kind of did help me going forward. So yeah.
That's a really good segue to for us to speak about, let's say, the transition. Do you know what I'm saying? Where now what you're making is not what you were making before. And I much prefer this stuff. No disrespect to the other stuff, but I much prefer this stuff, which I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to fixate on this point is because it reminds me of another conversation that we had not too long ago with Arif. He runs a brand called Arif Fadaus, sick brand. And what I find interesting is that when you go from having that type of brand, which like you said, is just putting a logo on something, to making stuff that seems more conceptual, that's not as easy as one may think. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole different type of process. But personally, I feel like you have to actually you yourself need to believe that you can actually design these type of stuff. So in when it came to you during that transition, is that something you ever battled with? Like, yo, I don't know if I can actually do this. And if so, how did you overcome that?
You know what it is? I just sometimes thought it was kind of long. Like, that's the only reason, innit? And then down the line, I thought, nah, man, I need to try different stuff. Like, I need to understand what I'm actually doing. Like understand the garments, understand the fabric. So I just started to basically just research more and just put in more of an effort in terms of designing. And it did kind of happen still within the 2 years, because I remember me making that tracksuit with the panels on the fin and the long strings and stuff like that. I started to get into that just after like the first, let's say, 2 years and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to do stuff like more experimental and just kind of stand out a little bit, you know. So
did it have that effect? Because I know what tracker you're talking about.
Yeah, it did, because it's like, it was like it gives it more of a difference in terms of like, yeah, this guy's actually a bit creative, you know. And for me, it's not even that I'm not creative. It's just that I just couldn't be bothered to do it. I'll be real.
Swear down.
That's what it was. It wasn't that I wasn't
That's
creative.
real still.
Like, I can do it. But you can speak to my business, but the stuff that I want to make that I've only shown people like literally 10-15% of my work that I can actually do. Like, I can do loads of stuff, but like I said, everything comes in time, innit? There's no point of me giving away everything. When if someone buys into this trackie, might as well sell 3 other colorways of it. I'm not gonna give everyone a new design straight away.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because I remember in our last episode of Fully Paid, I asked him, when you have something that's performing well, like Beanie or something, is it smart? Is it good business advice to just make it in loads of different colorways and just keep flogging those? Like, would you say that's a good thing to do? Yeah,
I guess so, because you gotta understand, if people want it, you can give it to them, but then you can give them something different, but let's say a lower quantity. You get what I'm trying to say? And then if that's popping, then you just up the quantity and just keep it moving. That's what I said. There's a difference between running a brand and knowing how to do business as well. That's business. That's not necessary. That's a strategic move. That's not just designing clothes and selling it, because you gotta know what you need to put out and how quickly is that gonna sell in order for you to basically scale.
And where do you think you learn stuff like that? Or is that something your business partner would have kind of
Business partner helps me with that, but as well, that comes from experience and where you want to see yourself and where you want to be. So I had to go through experiencing different things. Like I remember one time I did a drop and it didn't go to plan and I had to learn from it. I don't know if you remember, I made the shell cargo pants and the windbreaker thing. I don't know if you remember.
I can't remember.
Anyways, I made a windbreaker thing, right? So windbreaker jacket with pants.
Yeah.
I dropped, the first time I ever dropped that did really well, I dropped the black, the silvery grey and the khaki, right? And then I decided to do a black and yellow one.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So cool. So I did
That was cold though.
Yeah, so I did the black and yellow one, but where I messed up, I did the black and yellow one, which is a black silhouette with yellow, obviously, zips and stuff.
Yeah.
But I did that the same thing, black and blue, black and pink, black and orange.
Yeah.
Now, for me, that wasn't a smart business move necessarily, because if I'm investing in, let's just say, 200 items in between that, if someone buys the black and yellow one, they're not going to just go and buy the black and orange one.
Yeah,
it's still a black black silhouette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of bad business, and it was harder for me to sell the product. Whereas if I had a black one and then a full grey one and a full khaki one, they might just buy all three. You get what I'm trying to say? So those are the different things I had to learn and understand. All right, yeah, I'm designing, I'm making this, but is this for this time? And this can be for next time. Just like with this, I'm wearing it today, but it's not out.
It's cold.
You get what I'm trying to say?
What does it say on the pocket?
You're too focused on the product.
What does that mean?
Like, it's funny how I come up with that one. So with that one, obviously we had the jacket and we done the design for the back, but I kind of thought the front was a bit plain, and I didn't. But I liked how it looked on the front. I didn't want to put no GoneClub branding on the fin. So, but I still thought there's something missing here. What can I add there? Then I said, let me not. The reason why I said you're focused too much on the product is because some people focus too much on the product, but they don't know how to sell it anyway. So it's like,
Big facts.
so for me, it's like, I just put on the thing, you're too focused on the product. That was it. Just put the font on there and just left it. Just kept it moving.
It's cold, I can't lie.
Yeah, it's just clean. It's just
Clean,
there.
yeah.
It's just there. But we haven't obviously still finished the garment. I'd say I don't think it's 100% ready to be pushed out. But like I said, we've got different things, but everything has its time.
Facts. What made you not want to have, sorry to fixate on this jacket, but what made you want to not have like GoneClub branding on it?
On the front bit?
Yeah.
Because I've got it on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that message speaks a lot. Sometimes with me, it's like, I don't like to do too much. I feel like some people, it's good to do a lot of branding on your fin, but it depends on what you're dropping. This is more of a thing where you're going to wear this out, maybe to a club or somewhere that's a bit more uptown, nice. I don't want to put too much. And as you get older as well,
your style changes.
Yeah, things change a little bit. But obviously I do like the branding stuff because it helps for the business. If I give a tracksuit that has a big GoneClub logo to an artist and they're wearing it and people see it, helps promote the brand. So
you got to strike that balance.
Yes, everything has a balance.
That's
so,
a major key still. Speaking of style changing, like, I'm quite happy you said that, because I think that's another reason why sometimes rebrands are so important. Because speaking of what GoneClub was before in comparison to what it is now, like, could you imagine yourself now wearing the stuff you were making before?
No.
Okay.
Nah, no chance.
No chance, is it? So is that part of the reason why the rebrand happened? And focusing on the rebrand, like, a rebrand is a big deal. Like, we're trying to do one now just with we're not making clothes. We just mean like our design assets on the Instagram and all these things, you know what I'm saying? And it's a long ass process. So one, what was the reason for the rebrand? And two, what actually goes into rebranding a brand?
I feel like the main rebrand just came from the transition of coming out of a relationship and doing the business by yourself. So I thought, you know what, I need to just rebrand everything, because I'm now basically putting myself out there that I'm now the person behind this thing going forward, and I need to showcase what I have to offer, not just selling products because I'm in a relationship. So the rebrand was very important, and that was a big challenge for me to kind of transition things, because are people going to like it? But at the time I didn't really care. I just thought I just need to change it all up, and then that was it. What was the second question, sorry?
Like, what actually that first answer was fantastic, by the way. But what actually goes into rebranding? Where do you start? Is it, yo, I need a new I need a new, that was a tongue twister. I need a new logo. Is it, I need a new name? Like, what's the thought process?
That's a mad question, you know. I'm trying to think about that. The thought process of a rebrand. I just feel like at the time, because of what happened in terms of me having to do the rebrand, that was my thought process of basically saying that to myself. I've got to make people know that I can design and I can push this properly, and I'm not just a guy that's selling products because they're in a relationship. I do have a bit of fashion knowledge. I am a creative, and this is what I want to showcase to the world. So I feel like that, let alone, basically just gave me the power to just switch everything up, research more, speak to more people for advice, get some help. And that's pretty much it, really. Like, literally, the logo thing I saw, had to sit down with a guy that was a designer who actually even did something with Virgil before he passed away. So I had the opportunity to sit down with him, and he actually just showed me so much. He didn't even just do the design. Like, he made me learn how to, like, he sat down with me and said, whatever you have in your mind, draw it out. You might not be the best at drawing, but draw it out. Draw it out. Bring your vision on paper. From paper, let's do it digitally, and then let's bring this to life. And he made me do it. So yeah.
So did you draw this logo then?
So the logo, I basically drew the logo in a way that I imagine it. And the person perfected it, basically.
Sick.
In a way that I want it to be.
I think it's wavy.
So there was so many different variations of it, and it still is, like that GC thing. But the main thing I always wanted was the exclamation mark type of thing, because that exclamation mark was the thing that made it stand out. That's why when I did the relaunch, it was black and yellow because of the warning signs and all of these things. Those are colours that stand out for them particular things, and that's basically what I want the brand to be, that we stand out.
Yeah, because I've clocked you use black and yellow a lot.
Yeah, like yellow, like this year, yeah, yellows are, I didn't say it's like our main colour in terms of like basically pushing the brand, because the being gone is like I said, self-belief and having confidence. When you see a confident person, that person should stand out. They're known that, right, that guy's confident. Their aura, it has an aura to it. So that colour for me has an aura to it. Like, it's just in your face. You can't miss a yellow thing.
Literally.
You can't miss yellow. So yeah, that's why that's like my main colour for my everyday collections.
So we're going to see a lot more yellow soon then.
Yeah, but not necessarily in clothing, but around.
Okay,
but you'll
the
see
branding.
it, yeah. I won't put yellow on, like, let's just say I won't put yellow on, like, I don't know, I could actually put yellow on this, but
yeah, that wouldn't even look too bad. You know, I thought about it.
Yeah, you could actually put yellow on this, but I won't put yellow on everything.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing, like for example, I don't know if you've seen my packaging.
Yes, yeah, wavy.
So that has yellow. That just shows you, like, that's the brand colour, like the yellow. But there's more other things that's going to come with it down the line.
I'm excited, man. After this convo, I'm really excited to see what you got coming up. Speaking of fixating on like the rebrand and whatnot, what are the possible risks that come with a rebrand? Obviously, I get naturally it's like people may just not like it.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, what would you say are the risks?
People think about it too much and they just do too much. You just overdo it. You feel like that's what it is. I feel like some people might just overdo the rebrand. They just overthink it. So it might just go wrong. But I don't know, man. I just feel like you just got to have belief, bro. You just got to believe in what you're selling. Like, if you don't believe in it, then who the hell is going to believe in your thing? Like, you can see that within someone when they're pushing a product and selling it.
How can you see it? What do you think shows you that somebody has that, or brand owner has that?
I don't know, like, sometimes I feel like, let's just say, for example, if I post on my story and I'm talking about like a brand story, like, oh, like, what do you prefer, what would you rather, things like that. If I do that all the time, like, where's your belief in yourself? Like,
good point.
Like, I think I've done that like once or twice, and that's because I just wasn't sure. So that comes from your belief from yourself. But that is your brand. You do, obviously you're selling to a customer base, but you do what you want. Like, if they want to buy into it, they buy into it. If they don't, they don't. Come back again. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like, it's almost like it's like a belief thing. Like, that's the whole thing. Everything's down to belief, man.
Do you know what's so mad about that? I've never, what you mentioned about when you put stuff on your story and ask opinions and whatnot, one may consider that as a lack of self-belief, because I've always seen it as you just wanting, and I don't mean you, I just mean the person who's done it, wanting people to feel involved in what they're doing. So how do you reckon people that own brands, designers, can balance that? Like, yo,
I don't know what everyone thinks, but it's like, you're getting validations from others, so clearly you might not believe in it in yourself. You want the validation of other people's opinions to make you think that now your product's good enough. But it's just a poll. Someone can click no and they might think yes. So how do you even know anyway? And then you drop the product and it doesn't do anything, and then you get disheartened about it.
Mm.
Like, so I just feel like you just got to believe in what you're doing. And if you believe in what you're doing in terms of that, your whole marketing campaign, everything's going to be better because that energy is just going to be better.
Facts.
And then 9 times out of 10, it should work. If it don't work, then you just got to go again. That's it. It sounds mad me saying it because it's like, right, man, you just said it like that. It's not that simple, but
to you it is. That's you.
That's just, for me, that's just how it is. I might get upset in a moment and be like, oh shit, this has gone wrong, or oh man, I might feel down. Like, I'm human, everyone feels like that. But it's about how do you overcome it? Like, take the positive out the negative. There's always a positive and a negative, innit?
Facts.
So a lot of people need to learn that. And that's the whole point of being involved in business. It all comes with that. If you can't deal with that, then business is not for you. And that's literally the truth.
Real talk, because it's up and down, boy.
It's up and down, bro.
One day you're rich, the next minute you're not, fam.
Literally up and down like a yo-yo, bro.
Literally, fam.
You don't even realise what money is no more, like.
It's real, fam. But
So, yeah.
I had such a good question. Yes. So cool. Speaking of the rebrand still, yeah. How does one measure the success of a rebrand? And the reason, because when I asked that question, somebody may have said in their head, oh, obviously the money. But forget that. You've gone from having one type of brand, yeah, that was obviously, you were kind of alluding to the fact, yeah, it did quite well and whatnot. So for you to have that audience and then bring out something that's start bringing things out that are completely different, naturally, chances are the new brand isn't going to be as successful as that brand at that point. If you get the point, like at the beginning, if you know what I'm saying. So especially in the early days of a relaunch / rebrand, how do you measure the success of what you're doing?
I feel like it all depends on analysing things from when you first started to now, first of all. Then, for me personally, it's just kind of knowing, like, you just got to be kind of strategic with, like, from what you're dropping, who you're pushing it to, how you're doing it. When I did my rebrand, I did a launch. And obviously I did that launch event in Soho House. So Soho House is big.
What year was this?
2021.
I was about to say, I won't remember then, so I was thinking, why was I not there?
Yeah, so 2021. So I did a launch in Soho House. Just that alone is already a good look. So putting your brand position yourself in a better place than you was before. That would be the best thing for your rebrand. So I did a launch in Soho House. Within that launch, I invited certain people. Certain people turned up. I got videos of that. All of that stuff all now looks good and looks better than what I've done before. So that's already a rebrand because I've done something that I haven't done before. So for me, that's already like, what's the word? Success in my eyes. And then that's me doing that launch as well, and people coming there and appreciating what I'm doing. That's what made me feel good and gave me that belief to think that this rebrand was a success, you know? So that was good enough for me. And then doing a rebrand as well kind of resets your mind in a sense where, like, you're kind of, basically, you're not starting again, but in a sense where you kind of got that excitement again. Because I feel like when you first start business, everyone's excited, innit? I mean, you might get a bit nervous to release stuff, but you're excited. You got the energy for it. When you're doing it for time, subconsciously, sometimes your energy might drop a little bit because a lot of things can get repetitive. So yeah, that was a good thing as well, like being able to basically be excited again, replan something different, you know, and just going through the process. It wasn't even necessarily about selling the products. It's just about going through the process and enjoying it again. Because sometimes you do something and you just don't, it's not like I didn't enjoy it no more, but it's like sometimes certain things in my business I don't enjoy, but I enjoy being involved with having my own brand. So yeah.
Botch, I love that answer, you know.
So, yeah.
I love the answer because I think, and it kind of alludes to what we were speaking to before we even started recording, how every day is, nowadays it's like everyone is so fixated on numbers. So if there's somebody that's in your position right now, as in, so in the position you were in a couple of years ago before the rebrand, and they're listening to you right now, prior to hearing what you just said, they may have just positioned the success of their rebrand as, you know what, by Q4 next year, I need to have XYZ, But from the answer you gave, you showed people the importance of the intangibles. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when people are saying good stuff to you about your brand, it's not like you're writing it down. You're obviously not. You're just feeling that. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing I love the most is the fact you said you started to, that the love was coming back. Because as we know, when you've got a business or whatever it is you're doing, and you even said this before we started recording again, unless you love it, like, you're going to stop. You're going to quit.
If you don't love it, you're not going to continue doing it. So it's like you always got to love what you're doing. You got to fight for it.
Facts.
It's almost like what's it, a relationship. Like the moment you stop fighting for your relationship, if it's not working, then it's not gonna work, is it? Same thing for your business. You don't love your business, it's not gonna love you back.
Facts.
So you just got to love what you're doing, man, and just appreciate that at least you have an idea. Some people don't even have ideas.
That's real.
So appreciate that you have an idea.
And you've made something of it.
You made something of it. That alone is already a success, because on the grand scheme of things, if you was to go through the population of how many people have ideas and made it into a thing, there's a big like fraction difference in it. So there's only a certain number of people that can do that. So if you can do that, that's already a success within itself for yourself. And then you just got to continue building, and hopefully you get rewarded, innit?
Facts, man. Speaking of rewards, that's a great segue. Obviously, I feel like last year you got one of the best rewards you've had during your brand building journey.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm alluding to you being in FootAsylum.
Yeah.
So big up you, bro.
No, I appreciate that.
Big success, man. Like, I think what people have to remember when somebody gets into a stockist is that the reason one is in a stockist is because the stockist sees that there's something with your brand, you know what I'm saying? They've bought into it, they see the value in it, they see that they can make money from it, which in itself is a measure of success, do you know what I'm saying? Because if a stockist can make money off of your thing, then obviously you can make money off of it yourself, do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So talking about that moment, I saw the content you put out, you obviously did the launch event, I saw how important that moment was to you. Like, if you could just speak about how it kind of came about, why it was so special to you, and what we can kind of expect going forward.
I feel like with the FootAsylum thing, the buyer was obviously following me for a while, and they knocked on my door a couple of times before it even happened in the first place. At first, I was a bit like 50-50, but I had to think about it, speak to my business partner about it, and basically see what fits with the business. And at the time, I feel like it kind of worked with what we had planned going forward. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, because it wasn't in our plans. That's what I'm saying. That's how sometimes you don't overplan. It wasn't in my plan. It happened, and I said to myself that, cool, this year we're gonna go through it, but we want to go through it a bit differently. And then we basically pitched it out to them. They agreed with it, and then we just did it that way. But yeah, it was tough though, man. I can't lie. As much as it looked good on the outside, bro, that's probably one of the hardest experiences I've been through since running the business, because it's just tough. It's not easy.
Negotiation. And...
Yeah, that's real business, like negotiation, getting the stock, learning how to, because remember, doing something with like FootAsylum or wholesaler, that's not my day-to-day business. That's another business. I have a small team. At the time, it was just me and Shamari. Our business was kind of dropping because we was focusing on performing for this. So it's almost like we were kind of not neglecting the business, but we couldn't, it was just too much weight. So, but we managed to get through it anyway. So it was a learning curve. Like, literally, definitely did learn a lot from that. But apart from that, I'm happy to even do that, because that, to people, that puts my foot in the door, sort of thing. It's almost like a thing where it's like of some sort of establishment, for you to be able to go to central London and purchase your item.
Facts.
Like, to someone else, they might see like, you've made it. You know what I'm trying to say, sort of thing. So for me, it's like, yeah, that's a big achievement, and that kind of gives my brand a bit more longevity in itself going forward. And it makes people wonder, like, okay, what's next?
Facts. Literally, because if you saw the way I ended the question, like, I was like, so what can we expect next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like I don't really like speaking on what's next. I just like to show it more than really speak about it. But the main thing for me, what's next in terms of what I can put out in this interview, is that I just want people to understand what I'm trying to push. And like I said, back to the self-belief, that you got to feel gone to be gone, meaning you got to have confidence and self-belief in yourself to be gone clear. Right? So I want to now start pushing that within the way that I might advertise something around. So I want to advertise, the message around the product. And that's basically where I'm at, figuring that out and pushing that so people can understand what I'm doing, the purpose and the personality of this brand.
What got you to the point of wanting to do that?
Because that shows elevation. Like, you got to learn how to always elevate your business. And Like people on the outside might think that, yeah, the marketing and everything is good. But for me, it's just like, well, there's a lot more that I can do. And there's a lot more that I'm trying to paint out there. It's just basically polishing everything and executing it in the right way. So then you can understand what I'm trying to do as well. So yeah, that's very important.
Certainly. And speaking of how you're going to show that message going forward, I think that's a good opportunity to talk about your personal brand. Because even obviously before we started recording, we was talking about all the work. Like, I love your TikToks, bro. I can't lie. Like, you're a normal brother. We're from the same place. You get what I'm saying? And the way you do your content is like, I can tell it's authentic. It's you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's never cringe or anything like that, which is difficult.
Some might say otherwise. We'll hold on to that one there, innit?
Do you know what? See,
No,
obviously,
I'll hold you to that one still.
I'm on the other side where I'm not seeing what's going on behind the camera. So to me, and also I understand the fact that unfortunately, because of the nature of TikTok and just the way we've been raised and our perceptions towards certain things, naturally, sometimes we're going to feel as though, oh, we can't do this, or, you know, it may look a certain way and we're going to, you know, maybe look at this like, oh, that's a bit weird. But your content, I never feel like that. So you've got a really good balance. But I'm saying all of that to say, how important do you think your personal brand is to pushing this gone clear message?
With the personal branding thing, like I said, you're basically your number one advertisement. So I just feel like you got to be able to showcase the confidence like within yourself, so everyone can believe in what you're doing, innit? And like I said, I feel like with me, I just need to kind of, you see how I'm speaking now? I need to kind of do that more. I don't feel like I do that enough. But for me, it's because I don't like going in front of a camera and speaking in front of a camera like that. But I feel like I need to kind of push that aside and try and do something like that. And I feel like you need to be in the right places, networking. That's so important. When you're around people, people see you in a different way, subconsciously. So it's just like, and I already have the network. Not even trying to like boast or nothing like that. I've got the network, but sometimes I don't feel like I even use it because I've got it naturally. It's not like I've gone out my way and be like, yeah, I've got a network with him, I'm just a calm brother that people just like, we just rock with each other, innit? And we just build relationships, friendships from that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I just feel like the personal branding thing is the most important thing of nowadays, especially running a brand. Unless if you're a guy where it's like you're trying to hide your face, but even that comes with a personality. So that's personal branding. That's
a brand in itself.
Like if you look at like Trapstar, that's a personality in yourself. But that personality, you got to show some sort of something. So there has to be some sort of lifestyle because it's already been done. So if you're not going to show your face, then what else are we buying into there? And then where's the message coming from? Sort of thing. You got to do, there's a lot of groundwork you got to do. So I just feel like people need to be, even myself, need to just be more, would I say, vocal in the process. Be a bit transparent. A lot of people are not transparent enough in what's going on. Like people like to see and learn. So I feel like that's where I'm at in terms of my personal branding. But I just feel like with TikTok and Instagram, it's different anyway.
Very different.
It's not the same. There's that. With TikTok, I can be a bit more free, whereas Instagram is not.
It's more curated.
Yeah, like TikTok. Like I can just record a TikTok now, and just post it and not care. Not like I really care anyway, but it's like, you can just post it. It's whatever. It's either going to get views or not. That's basically what it is.
So do you see that as a good thing then, an opportunity?
I guess so. But then again, sometimes it's like, it's a weird one because I've done a post on a GoneClub TikTok that's done well, haven't done no effort in editing, then you do a video that you're editing for time and it don't do nothing. So for me, it's just like, bro, we might as well just post whatever then. And if it does well, it does well. If it don't, it don't. Sort of thing. But that's just how I think. I don't expect people to do that, but that's just my mindset of things, isn't it? So yeah, I feel like just the personal branding thing is very important. Just make sure that, like I said, number one thing for me personally is just having that good network. If your phone book is good, you're going to be good. If you know how to use it anyway, to your advantage.
Yeah. That answer was that Rash will know that's the type of answer I want, because every episode I speak to the person and I try to basically get them to say why personal branding is so important, especially nowadays where we have the internet. So it's almost like if you're somebody in fashion and you're building a brand and you're not showing the journey, sometimes people may even look at it like, wow, why are you gatekeeping? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it can even do more harm than good than not building your personal brand and not showing the process than doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, man, I like that answer. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But another thing, you obviously spoke about the network And naturally, you have a network. Naturally, as you said, you're a cool brother. You know these people, you know those people. Rare. To people that don't necessarily have the type of network they feel they need or want right now, how do they go about building that?
I feel like, you know what, networking is actually a skill, because for you to go up to someone or have a conversation with someone about something that you do or they don't know you, that already comes, that takes a lot. Some people, obviously a lot of people go through anxiety, they go through loads of different things. So like, for me, I feel like it's not, you just got to believe in yourself, and you got to understand that it's okay people say no, sort of thing. And it's like, a lot of people don't like to be rejected. Like, I don't really care about rejection, sort of thing. Like, all right, cool, we move on. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, don't put that rejection thing in your mind, because that's going to stop you from being in the same environment with someone that might be able to potentially help you. And you never know until you have that conversation. I've been to so many different events, and I analyze a lot. So it's like, I know, even going to an event when I know that person that knows me, but I don't know them, but I will know. Because I'll analyze and I'll see, and they might want to network or we want to talk.
Or you can feel that
but
energy.
I can feel it, and I can feel it. And sometimes I say to myself, just come and chat, but what am I going to do?
Yeah, I'm not going to bite your head off.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, come and have the conversation. I'm a human just like you. You get what I'm trying to say? You might think I'm in a bit better position than you. That is what you might think and you might see, but I'm just a human just like you. I was once in that boat where I have to go and chat to other people. I'm still there. I might see someone, I think, yeah, that person's going to look good in GoneClub. I'll go and chat to them and tell them this is my brand. Some people say they've seen it. Some people say they've never seen it. Hey, cool, check me out. 9 times out of 10, they actually like the product. Then from there, if they want to wear it, they can wear it. And I feel like with that networking thing as well, that even helps you in terms of like getting your products on the right people. A lot of people say, oh, how did you get your product on this person? Did you pay this? Did you pay that? I didn't pay that. It's just I built a relationship, networked organically, having the things that money can't buy. That's the most important. And it comes down to you just being a good person and just like, and telling people about what you're doing. If they rock with it, they do. If they don't, then they don't. And it just doesn't align within your path then. So that's how I see it, really.
No, so that's a major key. And does that, I don't know what to call it, does that confidence you have to kind of approach people and tell people about your brand and whatnot, does that kind of fluctuate? And the reason I ask that is because with me, like, there may be days where, for example, the day we was in that event and I came up to you, I can't even remember what I said. I think I may have just said, bro, when you coming on the podcast or something, I don't know. Because by then, I don't know if we knew of each other, but we hadn't met before, I don't think. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's days like that. But there may be another day where it's like I see somebody else that I want to get on the platform and I just don't approach them. Like,
yeah, you have them days, because I do that. But I feel like that just depends on your mood though.
True.
You might not be in the mood to chat to no one. Sometimes I'll go to places and I don't want to chat to no one. I don't care who you are. I just don't want to chat to you. If I chat to you, I do. If the energy aligns and we have a conversation, then we have a conversation. If we don't, then we don't. But 9 times out of 10, if I know that I'm here specifically on a networking thing but I'm making sure that chatting to you, and you're gonna know who I am.
It's like you kind of got to flick the switch.
And because I have a brand as well, I'm always 9 times out of 10 wearing my stuff. Sometimes I get stopped and be like, yeah, where do you get that jacket from? I said, I made it. Yeah, check it out. That's it.
Man, then we got to get hoodies and hats and that.
Yeah,
bro.
man, you got to get that.
We got to get that ASAP, bro. We got to get the merch
ASAP. You need a designer, I'm here,
innit? My guy. Do you know what? It's so true, the point you made about it depends on your mood, because at the end of the day, we're human beings, innit? As much as we need to network and do this for our brands and do this for our businesses, like, there's going to be days where, man, I want to do fuck all. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course, and excuse my French, of course those days need to be limited, but they're going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
And sometimes as well, when you go to like events and stuff, let's just say you meet like a celebrity and stuff, I'll be so real with you. They don't even want to, they ain't got time to be having them conversations. But some people just want to go there and party.
That's it.
You know what I'm trying to say? They ain't got time for them conversations. Like, I have a lot of friends that are celebrities, so I'll say, and when we go out and stuff, they just want to go out. You know what I'm saying? They don't want someone to be chatting to them about some business on a night out. But then again, it's like, it depends where you're meeting them. That's why there's certain events, like there's industry fashion events. You can go there and chat to people. I'd really advise, you're in a nightclub and you meet someone, they're just gonna say, yeah, take my Instagram. They're not gonna shout you again. They're drunk. That's actually the reality of it. It's happened to me before. I met bare people, show them my thing, I message them. It just goes, and that's it.
Yeah,
You
I've
get me?
been there.
You get what I'm trying to
I've been
say?
there with the same person 3 times.
You get what I'm trying to say? But then sometimes you might meet them in another environment where they're actually understanding what's going on. They might not be intoxicated or not as much as in the club, and they might take you in. And by the time then they might be like, oh yeah, what did he make? Like they'll kind of, bro, someone would see you. That's like if you've been on them before and you haven't got through to them, they have seen you. They have seen you.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, nah, this person.
Some people don't see, but it depends. It depends on like how you message them. Like nowadays, if someone messages you on Instagram because they've got this security thing, they're not gonna see it now. Nowadays,
because of the requests and all.
Yeah, like nowadays, like I get people saying, "Oh, you didn't see the message." I said, "Bro, I didn't see it. Literally, I didn't see it." And you gotta understand the with these people. So sometimes they're actually generally just mad busy. A lot of people don't realize that how busy certain people are. So it's like it's not like they're doing it on purpose. Some people might do it on purpose, but not everyone does it on purpose. Because I get that myself. People are like, "Bro, you didn't shout me or you didn't do that." So my man's just generally busy. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose.
The man are trying to go and like you move Hollywood now or something.
Well, I had that happen to me the other day, but I was just like, no, it's not that. Because if I didn't want to speak to you, I'll make it very clear. Like I'll just literally open the message and not speak to you. Like, and then you will know that I don't want to speak to you. But other than that, if I don't see it, then I generally don't see it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy people are hearing that, man. Because it sounds so simple, but often it takes hearing that simple message to make people say, you know, fuck it, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, because we're in a world where everyone's sensitive anyway, innit?
True.
Everyone's too sensitive. We're all too much in our feelings, especially with social media. Yeah. So something, someone don't respond to them, everyone's upset and things like that. Nah, man. But forget even about it being on social media. It's not real anyway.
Hey, that's a convo for another day, though.
Yeah, it's a convo for another day. Let's not even speak about that. But people should know this by now.
Facts. Yeah, but you know what, Botch? I'm going to start rounding the convo off. Yeah. I feel like we definitely got to do a part 2 or something, you know?
Already.
Because I feel like if I didn't start rounding off, me and you could have spoke forever, you know that, innit?
Yeah, because there's so much.
There's so much to talk about.
There's so much to speak about. Not even just in fashion, just in general, like in terms of like social media and everything like that. It's just, there's just bare stuff. There's bare stuff going on that people don't see and don't clock. And we're all lost in our own way.
Facts. But I hope after listening to this conversation, anybody that's in fashion will have more clarity about what they want to do. And I feel like hearing the stuff you said, Botch, people are gonna be impacted. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think it's because it's the simplicity in how you've said things. Because sometimes you just need somebody to tell you, do this, this, and that. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though you can feel it within you, until that person says that, you never do it. Yeah. I'm like that, where I have certain ideas or certain things I want to work on, and I know I should do it, but then it will take Rash or Gabs to say, oh, just do it, and then I'll go and do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, bro, honestly, this conversation has been 10 out of 10.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's been proper good, man, and I love how transparent you've been. So, thank you, man. But the last question I ask, you know what it is if you could give one piece of advice to the next generation of up-and-coming designers, anybody that wants to get into fashion, what would it be?
One piece of advice. To have faith and just always believe in whatever you're doing. Just be confident in yourself. Literally, that's literally the icing for anything. Just be confident, have self-belief. Everything else will fall into place. Without them things, you might not go and do research. You might not go and talk to that person. You might design something and scrap it. You might not even register your business. You get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, just literally, if you're starting, just believe in yourself, have confidence, and try and enjoy it as much as possible. Do something that you enjoy. Don't just do something because you see this person doing it and this person doing it. Do something that you feel like within yourself that you want to do it because you want to do it, not just because you look a certain way to other people. Do it because you want to do it. So that's my advice for anyone, next generation, starting a fashion business.
Botch.
So yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother. Broski.
That's it. We're there.
Bro, I'm very, very, very happy we made this happen when we made it happen.
Yeah, no.
Because I feel like, let's say we had spoken when I boxed you that day, let's say we spoke the next day, I don't think the conversation would have been like this.
Yeah, and I didn't remember saying to you that I want some more things to happen.
You said that, yes, you said that.
That's
Yeah,
what I said.
You said that.
I didn't want to do an interview because I wanted I wanted to just do a bit more.
Yeah.
Even though I still feel like there's so much more yet to come, but it's like now it's good for me to just speak and have that message.
You did, man.
Put that
And
message out
it's
there.
perfect timing. Like you were saying before, there's a time for everything. Do you know what I'm saying? And as I say to everybody that comes on this platform, like this ain't going to be the last time we talk. In 5 years' time where you're gone clear, like, bro, man's going to meet you wherever you got office. Do you know what I'm saying? We're going to chop it up again and you're going to have a whole new list of gems to tell the people, man. So thank you so much, bro. If you could just look into that camera and tell them where to find you, tell the audience where to find you, where to find the brand, it'd be great.
So I'm Botch. You can find me on Instagram, personal Instagram, B0TCHH, GoneClub, GoneClub, and TikTok, same thing for TikTok. And our website, I don't need to put the website in there.
So I'll put the links in the description. But perfect, Botch. Thank you so much, my brother. And thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you for watching. You would have seen that last episode. I started doing a thing where when I get gifted stuff, I'll tell you guys. So this is from a brand called A New Kind of Artistry, wavy brand. Big up my guy, Anton. And the brand is basically about, you know, the art of film production. And they've basically put it into a clothing brand. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as I always say, keep it locked. Thanks for watching another episode of Where's My Podcast. If you ever want to take in future episodes on the go, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Whilst you're there, please leave us a 5-star review. It would really help. And also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, WMTV_LDN, to keep up to date with the latest goings on in UK fashion. Keep it locked.